Hello again, back to I think 1978, which was, if you lived in Britain, either the glory days of punk rock or the dark days of punk rock, depending which side of the fence you were on. And I think we can now say the best way would have been to straddle that fence. Anyway, Tommy Bolin, right? If I can tell you a little anecdote first, in those days you tended to buy one LP record at a time because that was all the money you had. It was kind of unheard of, you see, in later life you maybe got a bit of money, you go to HMV or Virgin Records, or I think in the US it would be Tower Records, and buy a big stack of CDs. Now I've done that, it's great fun, but you don't give them the same attention as when you've got, you've got your teenage pocket money or whatever, and you can buy one record. And I can remember going into a record shop called Hot Wax in Edinburgh, in Scotland, Britain. And the record shop was like full of new wave albums. It was just full of new wave stuff. As I said, I think it was in '78. And in the whole shop I could find two things that interested me. Now I bet there were loads if I'd just known what they were. They were in country stuff, whatever, And the two records that I saw that I was sort of going, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, were Van Halen, Women and Children First, and Teaser. Now I bought the Van Halen record the next time I had a bit of money, but I ended up going home with this Teaser. And I never regretted it. I've bought it umpteen times because there's different versions of it. There's a deluxe, expanded version, which has a different version, by the way, of Wild Dogs. It's probably my favourite song on it. And I'm sure most of you know the story that Tommy Bolin was from Sioux City. He was and is an absolute legend to guitar players. He's just fantastic player. And he joined Deep Purple. He replaced Ritchie Blackmore in Deep Purple, which would be something of a thankless task. But he was Tommy Bolin at the same time. And I think there's something of a conflict of interest with the record companies, because when they toured, Purple were promoting Come Taste the Band, but his record company, which I think is Epic, was promoting that, and that maybe didn't go down brilliantly all the time. Anyway, his life was cut far too short, and who knows what Tommy Bolin would have gone on to do, because he's absolutely a multifaceted player. If you listen to Savannah Woman, or any of the stuff on this or the next album, Private Eyes, you can hear that he could play a lot of different styles. Anyway, that's something that grabbed my attention, and this one's called Marching Powder. So I kind of thought I'd go through some of the parts on Marching Powder. If you're in a rehearsal room, it's just a great riff to play for everyone to jam along, because it's so kind of vibey, right? Now, I don't think I'm telling any secret when I say we call that the Hendrix chord, right? So that's spelled out E. You know this. E, A flat, D, G, E, right? And it sounds like that. It's a semi-discordant chord. It's an E chord with the D, which is the flat 7, giving it that edge. Right? So the first thing you hear is a rattle of the drums. The band in this, by the way, is Stanley Sheldon on the bass, Narada, Jan Hammer, Tommy Bolin, and on the sax David Sanborn. Now I don't know what your definition of a supergroup is, but that would certainly be mine, right? So, the song starts off with Tommy going. Right? That's the start of it. So we've got this E7th sharp 9th chord. Let's call it the Hendrix chord. Hit the bottom string. Right? And make it as grubby as you want. I'll put it in the bridge position. I think that's what we're looking for. And go for dirty. Drop that 4 frets to a C. play that, right? So we've got the C, again, C7, sharp ninth, and then this one should be C sharp. Now the thing is, I think that riff is played 3 times on the record, and it's different every time. So, sometimes it's it's slightly different. So if you're going to play that in a band situation, you may have to say, which one are we going to take? The first instance. I'd go for that one, just play that over and over again. Or if you're going to want it to be synced perfectly, you'd have to say, well, what about the first time we play that, and the second time go. Right? Or you could just make it as messy as you like, which would kind of be my stance on that. I think it'd be great if it was just this sort of maelstrom of sound. Right? So anyway, we've got that riff. As I say, the rattle of the drums, and then right, we now move into a fusion riff. Now I'm going to spell all these notes out very, very slowly. Not because I think anyone would have, anyone would not because I'm trying to be patronising, but I find this a really odd selection. So we're in E, right, and we've got so we've got an E, then we've got a B, then an F sharp, a D. So if you're looking at the 5th fret, 4th fret, 2nd fret, 3rd, we're going 7, 9, 7, 7. Right? Then we go. Right? So that's C, B, G, or 5th fret and the G, 4th fret, 5th fret and D. Then, so that would be a D, an E flat, and a B. So this time, so you see the second time going C, D, C, D, right? It just seems to be quite large intervallic jumps to me. David Sanborn plays a harmony on the sax, and what happens is David Sanborn plays when Tommy's playing. David Sanborn plays that, so that's A to F sharp. So instead we get. Now I should say I'm fretting all these notes. I think on the record, what Tommy does is, so it'd be great to go, you get the harmony, right? That I think would be the end of part 1. I'll come back in a second and do a part 2 on this one and the bit that comes next. Okay?